Did you pass that class or no? I would literally change the whole entire script. And he's still like, yeah, I don't see it. I don't buy it. And I'm like, mother trucker,
Yeah,
maybe this ain't for you.
Kind of character you to see. We got out and I was like, oh my God, I feel awful.
Yeah.
I think I found the best way to like kind of say you're doing too much without saying is like, come over to the monitor. Tell me what you think.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then they watch us like, does that feel like you're watching a short film? And then they usually like,
This is that's crazy. Welcome back to the Jordan Whitrock Show. I'm your host, Jordan Whitrock. We got Micah Shoft in the studio. W's, let's go. Today is a pretty cool guest. It's someone that I haven't had a lot of opportunities to work with, whether it be just our schedules didn't line up, production time, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really excited today to just dig into who he is, what he loves film and TV for, all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, let's welcome to the show, Albino Anzures.
thank you very much for having me. You said my name right. I'm so proud.
Dude, every time. This one I was pretty proud though, because we started the show before, and as soon as you walked in, I was like, "What's your last name?" Because I've learned this: don't try to figure out someone's last name, because you'll cook yourself trying to memorize it one way, and then when they're like, "Oh, it's like the A is pronounced instead of A," and you're like, dude, I'm cooked. You know, there's no way you can recover. And then, so I've learned to just not even try, which like anyone who's watching this right now is like, this guy doesn't even care. It's like, no, I do. And just my brain doesn't work like that.
I mean, what can you really do about it? Names are really hard. I should know. I have a tough time memorizing, let alone pronouncing them. So there's no shock in that.
Okay, you know what that reminds me of? Okay, the first thing I remember, and correct me, maybe I'm totally off. Were you a writer for Duck Duck?
I was, yes.
And was that the first thing you did or no?
Yes, it was. It was.
Dude, I'm on fire. Let's go.
Yes,
Okay.
it was.
Because that's like the first time I saw you.
Yeah.
So were you a freshman or sophomore?
Technically a sophomore because I
Yeah.
transferred over to Oshkosh.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so where did you go to school before that?
Originally I went to lacrosse.
Oh, what brought you to lacrosse?
I think my sister went to lacrosse originally, and she was like, "Oh, you know, it's a great school. You should come here." And I was like, "Okay, why not?" And I got accepted, so I was like, "Might as well just go."
Yep.
And I went for computer science. Like, do not do that ever again. It was so awful.
Wait, what made computer science so challenging? Or not challenging, but just like bad?
Yeah, I guess there's a couple of things. First things first, it's gonna sound dumb, but I didn't realize there was so much math involved in computer science.
Really?
Okay, I'm not the only one.
Okay, yeah, no, you're not the only one. I sighed because I was like, damn, I don't want to do math. But then I was like, wait, yeah, why is there math
There's
in
so
computer
much
science?
math. Like, I think I had to take up the Calc 2 in order to, even like major in it or whatever. And it was just not fun at all. The classes were really hard. And I don't want to be mean, but a lot of the professors, they're not really teachers. They're like people who have their doctorates. So they're not really good teachers.
They're not teachers, they're dictators. No.
And a lot of them, bless their heart, they have thick accents, so it's hard to understand them sometimes.
Yeah.
And it just makes it so much harder to learn.
Well, so then you went to Oshkosh, and we can get into that story. But a lot of our professors, pretty easy to understand that from that point. Micah, have you ever had a professor that's been like tough, challenging to understand that you like almost give up?
I have, and coincidentally enough, it was Calc 2. So the class itself was already hard, but this was an older gentleman from China. I would try to pronounce his name, but I'm not doing that. He wore 2 masks, because this was kind of during the COVID era, right? And then he put his little mic in between the 2 masks. So anytime he opened his mouth, all you heard was a shuffling of the 2 masks rubbing against the mic. Yeah, that was a tough class.
A little bit of Vader in him.
That's awesome.
That's tough. That's tough. I mean, was he wearing the N95s or was he just wearing the 2?
He had an N95 and then like a regular like surgical, like one you get at like a clinic that went over.
Oh, okay. All right. If he had like 2 N95s, I'd be like, okay. But I understand that, so less judging. All right. Okay. Back to you suffering through all of your classes at lacrosse.
Oh, yeah.
So what made you like decide like, hey, screw this. I'm going somewhere. Did you know where you were going to go or no?
Yeah, I knew. So I guess there's 2 reasons why I chose lacrosse. Or just one reason, but there's 2 reasons why I decided to call it quits at lacrosse. One of my best friends, his name is Ben Cohn. He's like my.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He's a famous guy.
Yeah, he's the talk of the town. We got to get him on this show.
No, for real.
We got to get him on this show. Hey
He's
Ben,
awesome.
if you're watching this, please come on the show.
He is. Don't worry. So yeah, he went to the Oshkosh his freshman year.
Okay.
And he just told me about, because he was originally majoring in business, but he was taking some RTF classes. He was telling me about what he was doing, and it was like, oh yeah, it's awesome. Learning about how movies are made, and for some of these times we're watching movies.
Those
and,
are like 114, 115
yeah,
classes.
no, exactly.
We love those.
and it was like, oh my god, man, that sounds so much better than what I'm doing. Staying up till 2 a.m. writing code on my computer, like, oh my gosh, I want to go there. But the straw that broke the camel's back for me was my second semester in lacrosse. I took I guess the second computer science class you're required to take, and I had this teacher. I'm sure she's really nice, but she was one of those teachers who had the thick accent. I couldn't really understand her, and I was having a tough time following the assignment or whatever. And like when she assigned us the homework, I was confused of what I needed to do. But thankfully I looked up on Google. There's the whole like coding just right there for me to just take. so I did copy and paste. I just kind of just looked over.
You looked over. You didn't copy and paste. Yeah, I got you.
But because I did that, I didn't understand what I was doing.
Yeah.
So when I came to turn it in, I got an email from her saying, after class, come see me or whatever. And
did you wait at that moment? Were you like, oh, she knows, or
like,
were you like, that didn't even cross your mind?
In the back of my mind it did, but I knew she just wanted me to explain the assignment, so I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do. And
I'm gonna cook real quick.
I stayed after class, and yeah, she pulled me over and she told me how do you work this code that I wrote. I just froze because I had no idea what I needed to do, and I came up with some dumb excuse. She didn't buy it, and she was like, yeah, I have a feeling that you didn't really write this code yourself, so. Which I didn't, so fair enough. But oh my god, the thing she said just broke me. She was like, you know what? I don't think you should stay studying computer science. I think you should switch to something else, or just get out of school, save some money.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, I'm not sure. I didn't know teachers were allowed to break your spirits like that. I thought they're supposed to help you. And oh my gosh, I was so sad.
But looking back,
she was right.
Which
I can't be mad.
Like she, in a way, not that she saved your life, but
she kind of
clutched up for you.
She was spitting facts.
She was like, I know this isn't for you. Like, come back, give me a donation to the school when you're a millionaire, director, writer, whatever. Like,
you know what? Maybe I will. But yeah, after that, I just barely passed through second semester because I was so demotivated.
Yeah.
After that,
Yep.
and
did you pass that class or no?
I passed that class. I think I got an F. I know, because after that, I just stopped showing up.
I had to ask. I knew the people at home were like, I wonder if he how he finished that class out.
No, like after that, I just stopped going to class. I was like, there's just no point.
Yeah, she knows.
Yeah, it was like
over.
So I just didn't show up, got an F, and the rest is history. I was like, I'm gonna go to Oshkosh. And I transferred over here, and I took my first RTF class, and I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do.
Nice. Okay, so your sophomore, your first year at Oshkosh, and how did you get tied up with Duck Duck then? And I'm asking because like my freshman year, I did the radio stuff, and that was kind of all I got into. Same with sophomore year. I never really got into like the other side of RCF until like my senior year, which was the Duck Duck and whatnot. And so it's like I never really got tied into it, whether it was like, not that it was like gated off, but it kind of felt like that when like the seniors upperclassmen were like, we're running our shows. Like, I don't know,
I guess it was just like I don't know, way to put it, a laundry list of things that just fell into line for me. Like in lacrosse, actually, Ben was telling me about his time in RTF. And I was like, oh, that sounds awesome. And like it was like during a theater class. It was for one of my gen eds. I had an idea for like a I don't know, just like a TV show or whatever.
Okay.
And I wanted to make it a TV show, so I needed to learn how to write a screenplay, but I don't even know how to even start one. So I started looking it up, how to do it, and I started writing it and stuff, and I just really got into it. So that's when I know, like, oh, I really want to be a writer or whatever. So going into the Oshkosh, I was like, asking around, it's not really a lot of writing opportunities unless you're making a short film.
Yeah.
But thankfully, I met with one of my friends. You know him, Bryce Holtman.
Yep, good guy.
Great guy. We were like sitting in our dorm doing some nefarious activities, and we were just and I
writing code like everyone else does.
Writing code. That's what they're doing homework. and And just I think I don't know. Was that nowhere? I don't know. He just like came up to me. He knew I wanted to be a writer. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'm helping one of my friends, John May, with this sketch comedy show that he's doing.
Okay.
They're looking for writers. I can give you the email of Jenna Plutz, and you can just see if they'll take you." So I wrote her an email. I sent her a script that I wrote, and
that was probably she was like, and he's giving us stuff to look at. What is yeah, you're hired. Like that's no brainer. Most people just send an email, hey, can I like be a part of this? And they're like, yeah, I guess so. Like,
and honestly, that's what I should have done because I overachieved because I told Ben to email Jenna because that's what he wants to do as well, and he just sent her, hey, can I be a writer? And she's like, yeah, sure. So I overachieved, but I guess it worked.
Wait, hold up. Okay, how did you know? So you roomed with Bryce in a dorm room? Or
technically no. So
okay.
Ben introduced me to his friend group.
Yep.
And they knew Bryce.
Gotcha.
And whatever, and that's when we were hanging out.
Okay, because I was gonna say, I'm like, how did you like? That's an insane pull to like pull an RTFer who's pretty chill as your roommate, but that makes more sense.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. Did you share a dorm then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we have any good stories from there?
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, I had 2 roommates.
Wait, in the dorms?
No, sorry, no.
No,
2 roommates in total.
Okay.
One in my freshman year, one in my sophomore year. Freshman year,
yeah.
my roommate, I'm sure he was a great guy, but I don't know, I just hated him. I don't know.
Did he do something? Well, did he like smell bad? Did you not clean?
That's all. I don't know.
He was taking the oxygen in the room. Damn it, chair.
I don't know. It's just the way he just got about his life. I just hated it.
Okay.
I don't know.
Wait. What major was he?
He was actually a double major. He was like he was a physics and engineering major. He was a smart guy.
Micah, how do we feel about people like that? Because that's kind of like your realm.
They're too smart for me.
Okay. All right.
No, for real. Oh, there was one thing he just did that annoyed me so much. It's one thing he did that annoyed me.
Yep.
Like every time, I don't know where in the dorm, people would just go. It happened like 3 times a day, and I didn't know when. And he would just.
It was 3 times. Could have been at night. Could have been in the morning.
Yeah,
I know. Could have been while you were studying.
That's what annoyed me.
You got your noise canceling headphones. You still hear the.
And I didn't talk to him once. We kind of just existed in the same space.
Yeah, I feel like, looking back at like, well, I didn't really game too much back then, in the sense of I really only started gaming when I started live streaming. There was like, I guess I played Battlefront 2, but that was it. Yeah. And then, but by that time they had already announced they were done with that game, and so I was like, oh, it's a dead game. So I played a little bit more. But you just like, it's sad when a game that you really like is no longer getting updates. You're like, okay, then what's the point of playing it? I mean, so when that happened, I was like, oh, that I'm kind of done gaming because I don't really want to waste my time. But then when I started streaming, I started gaming. But I feel like at that point, I wouldn't have been gaming too much because my issue in the studio is when I stream at nighttime. Everyone in the studio is like, can you shut up? Like, you're too loud and we're trying to go to bed. Yeah. So then what I try to do is I try to compensate with it. So it's like I clean up after myself. Like I go above and beyond, mow the grass without being asked of the studio and all that kind of stuff. And so then there's like, so now the joke is like my one bad thing I am. Like everyone's got one thing that they're a bad roommate for. And mine is at nighttime when I'm live streaming. I'm a little loud. And then you just hear me say, screw you, you child. Stop griefing me.
That's valid, though.
Yeah. So I feel like in the dorm room, too tight space.
I know, right? And they're so small. The rooms are so small. Why are they so small?
If it was like this and you split it,
yeah,
that'd be really nice, actually. Because you can kind of keep it to yourself, but... It's the 2 beds like a jail cell. It's like tough to try to be creative in a space like that.
Which is why I made like early on I try to make friends so that I don't have to spend as much time there. And in lacrosse I made 2 friends. There were 2 girls who lived in like a dorm across from me. We were just constantly just hanging out and all that stuff. They were bad influence on me, but but it was nice.
Dude, everyone's got those friends though.
Yeah.
I remember yeah, they're probably not gonna watch this. No, it's just like I remember friends that I made like freshman year of college, and I was a commuter, so like my thing was like the only way I make friends is if I'm like doing stuff, going out, because I'm just not in the dorm room. I don't have the option. And I remember like some of the friends I made, I was like, I probably would never like straight up be like, yo, let's be friends. But it was like, you're the only person I've talked to like in the last 4 days. Like we got to make this work. So and then it's like funny because then after time you're like, they grow on you, and then you just have to be like, okay, well, there's stuff I don't agree with you and that you do, and it's like, so then our friendship will only go up to that point. You know, I won't go beyond that, but you have to have those people though to get you through life, and otherwise it's very lonely.
No, exactly.
And sad.
And thankfully, I found those both here and.
Well, it's nice that Ben was there.
Yeah, no, it was so easy. He already made friends. He did all the hard work, so I just had to.
I just had to tag him.
Tag
Dude,
him
honestly, that's the move though. That is the freaking move.
Exactly. And it just ended up working perfectly.
See, for me, my family moved around all the time.
Yeah.
So every 3 years, I had to make friends, and so eventually, I just got to the point where I'm like, I don't. Like, Mom, we're just gonna have, like, Mom, Dad, we're just gonna move in 3 years. So what's the point of me really trying?
Yeah.
And it was like, not that we knew we were gonna move. It was just that, like, well, we've done it the last 6 years. We've moved to 2 different cities. So like, I'm just assuming the curse is still here, and we're gonna move the next 3. You know, but so I kind of was like, I got really good at making friends, but then I was like, what's the point of making friends if like you're not going to stay in touch with them because you're just going to move away and you're in middle school and high school, so you can't even drive. It's like, you know, don't have a phone.
No, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like we're cook chat. Okay, so you're doing Duck Duck. What did you have a favorite? So Duck Duck, we talked about this on the show multiple times because we had Jenna on the show. But was there like a script or something that you wrote that you were like, that was my best work on the show?
There was, but it was a script that never made it to air, unfortunately.
And that was my next question: is if you had one that didn't make the air, that you're like, dang it. Okay, so two birds in one stone.
Yeah,
all right, break it down for us.
It was gonna be the last episode, and I was tasked by John to write like a sketch that involved everyone on the show.
Yep.
So I decided to write like a dinner scene.
Oh.
And like, you know, there's like a father, the mother, there's the brother and his friend from Texas.
Okay.
And then there's 2 twins, one who studied abroad in the UK and came home with a London accent, and the dad's a classic Midwest dad.
Okay,
and
fair enough.
Obviously,
we love our Midwest dads.
There's so much funny lines. Oh my god, I wish. And I guess the main character is the daughter who brought home her husband, and the wife. Like the whole like. The main like running gag is the wife just hates her husband, like his daughter's husband. So what is that, stepson at that point? I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that his stepson?
No, what is it?
Son-in-law.
Son-in-law. Thank you.
He hates the son-in-law because he brings home another woman's cooking in the house, and only her cooking is like allowed in the house.
Wait, it's the son's wife that the mom hates.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the other way around. I was like, bro, that's literally your daughter.
Yeah.
Like, what? Okay, that makes so much more.
Yeah.
Okay, so this didn't make it to air though.
No, unfortunately not.
What was the reason? Just like not enough time to prepare.
Yeah, I
kind
think
of
that
thing?
was the main reason.
Okay.
It was like time.
So you're saying we could shoot it?
Yeah, I still have the script, and honestly,
dude, that'd be fire.
It's my best sketch like script ever. I love it so much.
All right, you got to figure out who to cast, and if you call my name,
yeah,
like I don't care what role I got. If I get one, like I'll be there. That sounds fun.
No, it was really fun. It was really fun writing it. But
dude, what's that? The old TV show, and this would have been like 70s, maybe 60s. It's like kind of the same vibe. It's the dad and mom are, I don't know if they're Midwestern or whatever.
Is it All in the Family?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then the daughter brings home the hippie boyfriend, and that's like the fiance or the husband or whatever. Yeah, that's what that reminds me of. Does that vibe kind of similar or not really?
I think that wasn't my inspiration, but
no,
I see it. But
and that was the only thing that like I got reminded of when I was thinking of that. I was like, yeah, okay, I can see how that goes. Yeah.
But like, the main inspiration for that was because season 2 of The Bear just came out, and there was like the family dinner episode. I think it was called Fishes.
Okay.
And it was kind of like not really the same vibe, but it was just like a bunch of people who don't really like each other but are family.
Yep.
And like that was like the
Like a
main
Thanksgiving.
inspiration. Yeah.
So when you said dinner, I was thinking like, is that in The Godfather 2? No, 1. Is it 1 or 2? They have a dinner table scene or whatever, and it's literally just like them messing with each other. But it's like the family aspect of like,
gotcha.
You're my brother, so I can say this to you. But I wouldn't say that.
I've never seen The Godfather.
Really?
Neither one of them. I've also never seen the
there's
movies
3.
behind
No,
you.
I'm just kidding. You've never seen the movies behind me?
No. I know.
Well, you've seen like these 2 probably. What the heck? Okay, this might not be on camera, but we have the Phantom Menace. Wait, have you seen No Star Wars for you?
No.
Is there like something you have against it, or you just haven't gotten
No, I
around?
just haven't really.
That seems
gotten
criminal.
motivation.
Like what?
I don't know. It just doesn't really speak to my language. I don't know.
See, I'm partial. Like when I watched Star Wars for the first time, I would have been in like 5th grade. Life changing. Like I'm talking 6th grade, we had lightsabers, and then we were fighting. Didn't even know that existed. But I also have to shout out Star Wars because they technically Star Wars Battlefront 2 started my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And that was my main source of content. You know, there's some pretty bad videos in there of like really bad music.
That's valid.
With bad gameplay.
No, that's valid.
Okay. Well, these two, Casablanca.
Okay, well, I think I watched like half of it, but I fell asleep.
Yeah. And then Blade Runner 2019. Blade Runner, I think it's 49 is the other one. Mid. Bad.
Okay.
2019, that's a good, and the reason why I like this film, I've talked about this on the show, is there's so many like writer, like as you're writing a script that's a feature film, like what is the underlying of the story? Like what is the significance of this little item that to the normal person watching is like, oh, it's just like this.
Yeah.
But you're like, oh wait, this means this because we saw this earlier, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't even know how the movie ends because it can end in like 5 different ways. You know, you don't know. So that's why I love that film, and that film got me into film, like that idea of like, oh, this object means way more to the storyline than like you would actually think.
Yeah.
Like, and then you start talking with other film people, and then you just get into a rabbit hole.
Oh yeah.
And it's like because of that, I was like, and you can do this for a job? I'm like, why would I do anything else?
I know, right?
I was like, that seems like an easy option. But I get also that it's pretty hard to get work and make money doing it. But but so that, and then Casablanca is like not the only black and white film that I like, but that's not like Christmas. Like It's a Wonderful Life. Love that movie. But Casablanca is like that first film where it's like they try to do different stuff, or it's like because it's so old, they do like a shot that's supposed to be like inside, and they just like put the camera technically through a wall, and what you find out is like it's just like a stage basically. They have like a wall this way, but there's no wall. It doesn't make sense like how he gets into the house and walks through it, but you just believe it because you're like, it's fine. But that made it fun because it's like, oh, like you don't really have to have like really cool sets. It probably was awesome at the time, but it's like that was made however so long ago. But yeah, no. Okay, so that sketch doesn't make it in. Do you think Duck Duck Live set you up or helped you, or you learned anything from it?
I think the main thing I learned about it is working with a team and not just working by yourself. Like I think that was my main criticism from like the executive producers, where like I worked by myself too much. I need to be more collaborative. Got you. But other than that, I mainly learned how to structure my writing through my classes, mainly through Mike Van Essler. Love Mike. Yeah, we love Mike. And yeah, but
when you mean structure, like script structure, or
like script structure, story structure, just like how to set up
so
a
for
joke.
someone that's watching this that maybe doesn't know a ton about film and writing and all that kind of stuff, when you say structure, do you mean like, hey, like first 30 minutes you need to see the villain or have a conflict if it's a long film, like a feature film, like that kind of stuff? Or is it more of like, hey, like this character needs to say this at this moment to get this reaction, but it can't be right away. We had to wait 2 lines. You know?
Yeah, for Duck Duck, it'd be the latter. Just like saying like, oh, I need to introduce these characters. I need to have names. So I was like, okay, this character will say this name or whatever, and they'll set up this joke later on if I say this here. Like that kind of stuff.
That's my weakness. Yeah, because I think you, when you write, and then we were talking to Ben about this last episode, but it's just that idea of like, it's so funny, but it can't be so funny the whole time because then it's not funny anymore. Yeah. What you need is to have those rest periods to then be like, oh, okay, the audience lulls back into it, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, that's funny, you know. But I have not mastered that one bit. I like, it's just like I get so excited. I'm like, oh, this is so funny, and then like I read it and I'm like, yeah, it don't add up. It do not. Okay, so this is sophomore year. Yeah. So then was last year your junior year, or was that?
Technically my junior year, I believe, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay. So then you have your own TV show. Yeah. How did you pitch that? Because that's different than what, like a normal RTF TV show is live. Yeah. And you set your 6 show dates at the beginning, and then that's what you do. But you went a different route to create your TV show. Do you want to break that down?
Yeah, of course. So I guess I'll start when I found out that for Titan TV, there are actual narrative productions that you can do for Titan TV. But I didn't know that. I thought it was just live and stuff. But Ben introduced me to Recollect.
Yep.
I know you had
Yep.
Ryan and Bailey on the
Yep.
show, and like I was like, oh, I didn't know you could do narrative shows on this. So I was like, okay, cool. So then, and that was like during Duck Duck, and I was starting to come up with some ideas. I remember Ben, he had this idea of like how he had like this idea for a short film, like two detectives are stuck in a hotel and they got to get out or whatever. And I was like, okay. And I took that away, and then I just had this idea for like these two detectives who are solving mysteries. So I was like, I was waiting. This is like me in the lobby of the ANC building. I was waiting for my time in WRST like radio things to come out. I was like, okay, hold on. I'm cooking something. Let me just pull out my laptop and start cooking. I wrote like 8 pages of that in like 15, 20 minutes or whatever.
That's crazy.
I know.
Are you a fast typer? You don't have to look at the keys?
Okay. Unfortunately not, but so it took me a little longer than it should. But
fair enough.
But like
I'm
I got
so
those.
jealous of those people. Micah's like that, right? You don't have to look at your keys?
It depends on what I'm doing. When I'm typing an essay, where like I have to put a lot of thought into it. Yes.
I was gonna say, because I see you over there doing searches for us, and you don't look at your keys one bit, but I see it's not that important. No, I'm just kidding. All right, okay. So you pounded that thing out 8 pages.
Yeah, and I just like tucked that away. I was like, maybe I'll revisit that, whatever. But then
wait, before we continue, so then you go do your RTI or WRST shift. What's your intro to the show? What show did you do? Were you on the Jazz Hour or
no?
Alternative something?
Oh no, I did. I think I was a technical director for sports actually. I went up there for like a homework assignment.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I was like a TD for sports on Saturdays.
Got you. Okay. Yeah.
Not my thing, but you know, everyone has to pay their dues.
Yeah. It's very true. Very true. Okay.
And so tucked those away 8 pages or whatever, and then I was like, out of nowhere, I just got this motivation to like, what if I really try to pursue doing a television show? Because I guess I'll do a little flashback. The reason why how I became interested in like TV to begin with was because I started watching the show called Game of Thrones.
Yep.
And right around season 1, and I think it was like episode 4, there was a scene between these two characters.
Okay.
And I was just so captivated by their dialogue and how I was like hanging on every word.
Season 1?
Yeah. It
episode
was
4?
Yeah, it was like between do you know the characters?
I'm trying to think of what the part could be. I don't remember the characters' names because it's been a bit. Was it the dad?
It was the dad of the blonde-haired siblings.
Oh yeah, and then
his son in a tent, and he was skinning a deer or whatever, and I was just so captivated.
Oh, in the tent.
Yeah, in the tent.
Let's go.
And that scene was like, I was like, wow.
Yep.
I was like shocked at how good.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. Such a goated show. Way too much nudity and stuff like that for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like we don't need that. All right, for me, I don't need that. Maybe HBO, you needed that to sell the show.
Maybe.
But like, come on, can't we just tell a good story without?
No,
I
mean, and you know what? I think they did for the most part tell a good story, but too much nudity. You're definitely right.
Yeah. But anyway, I just like. As soon as I could tell something was coming, I was like, all right, fast forward about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
That should be right,
Yeah,
right?
I know,
You know,
right?
that's the average. No. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Going back to your show.
Yeah,
Okay.
but so I found out you could be a good writer for TV.
Yep.
And I realized that there was this person who was like the person in charge of the whole TV show. He's the one who hires the directors, the writers, all the people who work on everything, and he was a showrunner. And I was like, I think that's what I want to do. I want to make my own TV show, and I want to pretty much be in charge of every single aspect of it.
Okay.
And so I had that in the back of my mind. I was like, well, I want to see if I actually want to do this. So I was like, I have this opportunity here to pitch a TV show and see if I want to. So I did. I ended up finishing the first episode, I believe, and started writing episode 2 and 3.
Okay.
And however, didn't really know much about filming yet, because I think I was still like a sophomore.
Would you have had 250 by then or no?
I think I was taking 250.
Yeah, okay.
So I knew like a very minimum amount. So I was like, I think I need someone who knows a little more about filming than I do. So I was like, Bryce Holman's around.
Yep.
So I hit him up and I showed him my script and he loved it, and we just decided to work together. Yep. We'll be co-directors. I would write all the episodes and we would just make this TV show.
That's right. I forget that Bryce was the co-executive producer or whatever it's called. Okay, so it's you and Bryce. How did you assemble your team?
I think. Oh, okay. So yeah, always me and Bryce, but I realized I need someone behind the camera who knows what they're doing. And funnily enough, Ben also helped Bryce because Bryce directed his own short film called The Director, and Ben was the DP. Where that was like, well, Ben's my best friend, and he knows how to do
Yep.
this. I was like,
Yep.
it's obvious to get him on.
Yeah.
And for the editor role, actually, it was funny because I met this one of my friends. I made it Oshkosh, and I think it was 114.
Okay.
And I think it was Caleb. He might have heard him, Caleb Herrick.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, and and I found out that he likes editing.
Really?
Or whatever. Yeah, because he used to do YouTube. So like
YouTube.
he already had the editing
the
brain
knowledge.
and whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm planning on making this. I'm pitching this TV show, and he was like, you better pitch the TV show because I want to edit on that or whatever. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, I'm going to. And then he didn't believe me, I don't think, until I actually did. And I was like, yeah, we got picked up, and he was like, so can I help on the show? I was like, yeah, of course, you can be the editor.
Okay, so you're assembling the Avengers team for your show. Did you have any troubles or struggles getting people for the show, or was it pretty much like we were able to cover every time? It wasn't that big. Like there was enough 250 kids that needed hours.
That was actually our biggest struggle was
Okay.
finding people who can help us.
Yep.
So yeah, because Bryce and I, because like we put out the call sheet like 2
Yep.
weeks, and we realized there was like no one who signed up, and like we were like, okay, how
That's
do we try
always
to
a
get
good
people?
feeling.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yep.
And Bryce had the idea to go to like a film society meeting
Yep.
and try pitching
Oh.
our, like we need help with our
Yep.
show or whatever. I know it's TV, but this is more like film structure or whatever. So we did that, and we also went to the Titan TV meeting.
Oh yeah.
Open meeting, so unless we recruited some people, but for the longest time it's literally just it was me, Bryce, and Ben, and maybe one or two 250 students, and that would be about it.
Got you.
So it was a very struggle getting all
Yeah.
the stuff we need to get done.
Well, I remember. So that would have been. Was this literally like 2 semesters ago, like last December?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would have been my last semester, and I remember I needed hours for practicum, and then I heard you were doing your show.
Yeah.
And at first, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, oh, I can help out on Honeydew and do that show. And then I was looking at my schedule, and at that time, I also had my I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, oh, I can clutch up. We're going to get everything I've ever wanted done. No, we couldn't. So then I was like, yeah, message me, like let me know if, like, I don't know, whoever's talking to me. And then you sent, like, hey, like, are you still interested in audition? I was like, dude, I'm cooked. I'm like, it's not happening. I was like, I cannot act for you. I'm sorry. I was like, I left a trail, and then I left you.
But it ended up working out, I guess, in the end. But
Yeah.
we were having trouble finding actors.
Okay.
Because Bryce said this in the beginning. Like, I guarantee you, we will have a lot of like women audition for our show, but we'll have like no men. And he told me that. I was like, oh, come on, you're just saying
Really?
that. Yeah.
Is that a common thing with RTF?
I guess. I don't know. I mean, Bryce is the more expert in this than me,
Yeah.
but yeah, like
I mean, to be fair, the real acting world is that.
oh yeah.
So I guess it's kind of what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, you just preparing me for the real world, I guess. But yeah, first we had 3 auditions. All 3 were female for our only female role.
Okay.
And so I was like, actually no, I guess there's 2 female roles, but
Yeah.
but like one like leading female
Yeah.
role. And there was one other. He was a man, and he was auditioning for one of our lead roles. And bless his heart, but he definitely isn't an actor.
Yeah, it wasn't gonna work out.
No, because I saw his audition, and I mean he was all right, I guess. But I noticed like in his audition tape, he was like cutting like between his lines.
Oh.
So it wasn't a continuous take. So I was like, oh, you're hiding something.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And I was like, okay, I'm just not gonna respond to this. I think he'll get the memo that. Not
You
gonna
didn't
pursue.
respond?
I don't know what to say to that. I could have been like, we appreciate you sending.
Is it someone from RTF?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know, but
if it would have been just like a random person on campus, I would have been like, yeah, you're never gonna see him again.
Oh, you know, exactly,
This
but-
guy literally looks at you in the hallway
yeah.
and is like, I hate that guy.
I definitely saw him too. But you know what? There's one thing I did discern from him that he actually was really good at, and that was his voice. And I was like,
okay.
oh, I think he'd be a great voice actor. And
Yeah.
funny enough, he was a voice actor for John May's animated show.
Oh, that was like previously?
Yeah, that was previous. I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yep.
But yeah, he was our only male like person to audition, and we were like, oh my gosh, I think we're cooked. We need 2 male leads, and we don't have.
So was it 2 male detectives?
Originally, yes.
Oh, okay.
But however, we went to the Titan TV meeting, and
Yep.
that's where we met our, honestly, best actor I've ever seen in my life. His name is Marcus.
Okay.
And he came up to us. He asked us about our TV show, and he showed his interest in auditioning.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, of course. I'll send you an email with the script, and you can just email me back your audition tape or whatever.
Yep.
And when he did it, and I was like, this guy's an actual actor.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. And he knows what he's doing. and yeah, so I was like, obviously he's in.
Yep.
But then we had the trouble of casting our other male lead.
Gotcha.
So what Bryce and I decided to do was hold an audition for the 3 women who auditioned for our TV show in Studio One, and they all ran through their lines or whatever, and it was, I'm not sure if you know them. They were Elena, Melanie, and Chloe. So all of them, I had no idea.
This makes so much more sense.
Yeah.
I know maybe like 2 of them. I feel bad.
Yeah.
They're not watching this. We're good.
Okay, that's all good. And first it was Elena. She read, and we gave her the role of like a one-time character who kind of sets them off on their journey.
Yep.
And Melanie, she read, and then it was Chloe, and then Bryce and I came to the decision that let's cast Melanie as the second lead and gender swap the character. And let's cast Chloe as the other female lead.
Okay.
And that's what we did. And honestly, it ended up working really well because I can't imagine the show being the other way around.
Yeah.
But it was like a buzzer beater because it was literally like a week before
you started filming.
We started filming stuff. So.
Well, how long were your episodes? And how many did you do?
So we did 4 episodes, and originally I wanted to do 22 minutes episode, 22 minutes for each episode.
Yep.
However, Bryce and Ben told me you cannot do that because you have 3 days to shoot this. It will take more than that to do 22 episodes.
Oh yeah.
22 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'll see what I can do, and I cut it down to 15.
Yeah.
And,
that's doable.
And yeah, it was really doable. We finished the first. We filmed it the first weekend. Everything went really smoothly.
Nice.
Second episode, though, less though.
That's usually what happens because you have so much time to prepare for episode 1.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, we no longer have that 3-week buffer to get episode.
Exactly.
We have a week to figure it out.
Exactly. Yeah. And I kind of shot myself in the foot, too, because I've written like a character to be an older gentleman.
Yep.
For lack of a better term. And so we had to shoot around that because we didn't cast him yet. Actually, I tried casting it, but and I did get him. But
or whatever.
It did, but that's stuff for another time.
Okay. Sounds good.
But yeah, so we just shot everything around that interaction between the 2 main characters and the older gentleman.
Yep.
And episode 2 was 21 minutes.
Oh.
So it took us. We didn't finish episode 2 until it had to air 3 days from when we finished. So
do you usually have to give it is it usually they want it a week before?
They would prefer to have them 2 days ahead, but we would always do it 12 hours. We would, but it ended up working. Yep. So hopefully there's no resentment from Justine on me. But
still.
But yeah, so that was the first 2 episodes. They all ran really relatively smoothly and whatever. And I guess I'm not sure if you know, but we filmed pretty much all the episodes at Grunhagen.
Oh, really?
And and we thought it was perfect because it's closing down. There's not going to be any people there. We're not going to be disturbing anything, and we can take as much time as we want. So we got permission to film there. Mm-hmm. So we talked to Residence Life, and we talked to the police, so they know that we were filming in there, and everything was good. But then episode 3 came along, and while we were waiting to, I guess, get into the building or whatever, one of the people from Residence Life walks out the door, and she was really confused. She was like, "What are you guys doing here?" And then he's like, "Oh yeah, we're filming an episode for our tiny TV show here." And she was confused. She was like, "No, you're not. I haven't heard anything about this or whatever." And Bryce wasn't there yet, so I was trying to stall for him to come along, and he did. And he came. He showed him all the emails and all the stuff.
He had all the stuff.
And the permission from the police or whatever. And apparently she's a second head, second in command at Residence Life, but. But Bryce was talking to the person who was third in command, and she never told her, and so she called her boss and said "Yeah, these people are coming."
So then they called number 1.
Yeah,
they
and
had
she
no
was
idea.
And he was like, "Yeah, I don't know anything about this. They can't really film in there. It's closed or whatever." And just like that, we got kicked out of the building. It's just to rub salt in the wound. She didn't have to say this. She was like, "You know what? If you guys were showed up 5 minutes later, I wouldn't have caught you. You guys would have been able to film in here." I was like, I wanted to cuss her out, "F you, lady, F you," but I was like, And she just walked out.
That's
and
tough.
We had all our crew outside. It was pretty cold. And
Dude, that's the worst, getting kicked. Like, I was on a short film. We got kicked out.
Yeah.
Like, we set up, like, literally we're in there, set everything up. And then the boss came in, like, and our director had receipts of him saying, yeah, you can use it on this day at this time.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. It was just one shot. It was really quick, so it wasn't going to, like, affect business.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't have. And it's like, he comes, he's like, nope, not today.
Oh, exactly.
And it's like, well, you can't really argue because he's the owner. So he just went back on his word. You know, there's no money on the line. But it was like, I haven't bought anything from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Since, so.
We lost a lot of money.
Yeah, so. Losing out, I'm a heavy spender, you know.
Oh, for real.
Now he's got no cash coming in for me. But okay, so you get kicked out. How did you solve the problem, or were you able to get back there another day?
Yeah, later down the line we were able to figure out a deal, but yeah, like in the moment, honestly, if Bryce wasn't there, because he's a CA and he kind of works for Res Life, I was like, I'm just gonna film in there. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like we got the permission, the police know we're there. It's like, and we've done this 2 weeks previous, like 2 weekends previously, and we actually had someone from Res Life come and open up the front desk of Grunhagen because we were gonna use it to film. It was like, but like Bryce was like scared, like, oh, but like if they find out we filmed in there, I'm gonna get fired and all that stuff.
That's true.
Which, by the way, they can't really fire you for that because it's a separate reason from your actual job. Which I talked to my coworker about, who's like my boss, and he told me like, yeah, you can't really fire a student for something they did that doesn't really affect what he's doing for his job right now.
Well, okay, now, Micah, we have to come up with a reason why they would be able to fire.
Yeah, I know,
What
right?
if they killed someone? No. We do not condone violence on this podcast, but
in certain
I feel
situations,
like that could be something. Maybe.
Exactly. So it was like, okay, we can't film in there because Bryce is gonna freak out. And yeah, Bryce was freaking out. He was like, he was like getting a little angry. He was like pacing back and forth. He was trying to figure it out. And this is the thing about me. I am like really calm about pretty much everything. Because like as long as I'm not dying, I'm gonna be chill about everything.
No threat,
yeah, exactly. So I was just like sitting there thinking like this. And I was like, just thinking of possible occasions we could use. And I was like, I remember for my job one time, for IT, I entered this like study lounge on the second floor of ANC for like art students. I was like, I think that could work. So Bryce and I went over there, checked it out, and was like, oh yeah, this can work. So we ended up pivoting from our current location to one in the ANC, which we can film there. And we just filmed all of episode 3, and honestly, but unfortunately, that weekend was when we scheduled our older actor to come up. So I was like, and we need that space because we established it earlier. So I was like, I have to cancel on it. And I feel so bad because he was gonna drive up from Illinois because he was like because I put an ad on Facebook and he responded and like he was gonna come from Illinois. I was actually gonna pay him. I think I was paying like 120 because like I just had some extra cash.
That's crazy. W's, I guess.
Just like covering the gas and like his thing, and I was like, but I text him and I just broke the news to him, and it was like so I felt so bad. But I was like, there's really nothing we could do, so I had to swallow that bullet. But we ended up filming all of episode 3, and honestly I think it was definitely our best work yet.
Was it 3?
But like that was like the main drama of our whole thing, and we ended up figuring out that like, okay, we do have permission, we just need someone from Res Life to come and watch us or whatever. So we did that. We finished episode 4 and submitted all the episodes and showed it to my roommates, and they told me, oh yeah, it's a good after finishing it, I was like, oh, it's a good show. Or whatever. We had a viewing party. Everyone, all of our friends came and gave us a little standing O because we did spend a lot of time making it. Like, you know, I think I remember my busiest day. I was like, I think it was during like a school week. I think I had to skip class because I think I started editing, like helping edit episode 2 at like 11 a.m. I didn't finish until midnight. Wait, let me guess
which class you skipped. Screenwriting?
I did. Yeah. I never showed up for that class.
I saw you like maybe 2 times, 3 times in that class. But also in my head, I was like, he's probably like the best writer in this class. So like in the sense of like, he probably doesn't need all of the extra work and help that the rest of us would probably need. So in my head, I was like, he's probably just like, I've done this before. Like, I don't need this. You know?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So I understood the assignment, you know.
Yeah, and no regrets. Honestly, I took screenwriting because I thought, it's gonna be like a time where like we could all work together on a script or something and just like better our writing skills. But no, it was like an introduction to like how to do a screen. Like a
Did you do advanced? Are you in that?
I wish, but I couldn't because it conflicted with one of my classes. But literally, advanced is the class that I wanted to take. But unfortunately, stars don't align. But what can you do about it?
Yeah, I don't know if I would have done advanced. I wasn't. Okay, I love Diller. Yeah, I think he's done great stuff for that department. I've said it before. Like the films before him.
Oh yeah.
Rough.
Yeah.
Like really rough, and then you could tell like the students that had him for 2 or 3 years like are actually making like I want to get into your film that you did, your short film.
Yeah.
And but. The guy just didn't like my writing. Like I don't know what he wanted from me. Like,
no matter
bro,
what you did.
it's just like no matter what I did, like I would literally change the whole entire script, and he's still like, yeah, I don't see it, I don't buy it, and I'm like, mother trucker,
yeah,
maybe this ain't for you. No, I remember literally, I was so frustrated. I was like, screw it, I'm gonna literally write the exact script that you want. Like it's not my creative freedom.
Yeah.
I don't care about the script, but it's the one that you clearly want. And he's like, yeah, this one's good. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, that's fine.
Oh
But I was just like one of those like the frustrating where it's like, oh, I can't make the guy happy. I've only had one other professor or teacher like that. It was my junior year of high school, English.
Yeah.
Micah knows who I'm talking about, but I couldn't figure him out. Like
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to usually figure out every teacher at least towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
Only guy I couldn't figure out. I didn't know what he wanted from me, and I eventually just gave up because I was like, bro, I'm like wasting time trying to like do this right for him, and at some point you're like, this isn't gonna make me better at all.
Exactly.
So okay, but I want to talk about yours. So you did a short film recently.
Yes.
And recently meaning, I guess it would have. Was it this September you filmed it or not? This spring?
Last spring.
This spring.
This spring.
So talk about that film. Dig us into it because I got to see it at the premiere.
Mm-hmm. It's weird, right?
Might be one of the. Again, all of those films were so good. Like
Yeah.
I was sitting down watching, and I was like, "This is stuff I would actually watch." Of like student, like this is good. A year or two ago,
Yeah.
painful.
Yeah.
Like why I don't want to be here.
Yes.
But like this year, I was like, every movie film is a banger. Like
Yeah.
you could actually pitch this to like get a feature film or something.
Yeah.
But let's break us down into your like, what was the name of it? What was the log line? All that kind of stuff.
So yeah, it's called A Song of Black and White, and it's pretty much like a take on like a 1930s noir story, but it takes us like a turn at the end when we follow a detective who goes into like a laboratory and discovers something's afoot, and we kind of end off him kind of starting his adventure. Because there's a story about this because that wasn't actually the original script.
Really?
It wasn't supposed to be all black and white. No, it was supposed to be.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. I was
Yeah.
like, I actually liked the black and white because it's noir-esque
Yeah.
and the time period that it took place. And I was like, oh, this makes sense. I'm like, that's so cool that they would have shot this in black and white or color corrected it to black and white.
So originally it was gonna be in color, and then it was gonna transition into black and white.
Got you.
So like it was originally gonna take place in like 2 universes originally, one in color, present day,
Yep.
and one like a 1930s.
Oh, okay.
And we would start the story in like at the color universe, and then we would just like hold on this window where we transition to black and white, and that's where we see Grant standing outside, like my main character, the detective.
So you're gonna do like that? Wasn't that like a television, or was it film? I don't know. I can't.
It was kind
remember.
of like the Wizard of Oz.
Where they, because Wizard the first movie that used color?
It was one of
Right?
yeah.
I think it's the first.
If it's-
But I was gonna say I think it was like TV. Someone did like the exactly what you were talking about,
Yeah.
where it went from black and white to color. And I imagine like sitting in the 70s, 60s, whenever they did that, just like watching the
Yeah.
television, not expecting it, and they're like, "We've created this new thing." And I don't know if this was at the movie theater or like on your little box TV at the
Yeah.
time, but like imagining. Like you've just only seen black and white your whole
Oh,
like
yeah.
that's what you're used to. It's
Yeah.
no different. And all of a sudden you're just like, what? Like I would be like so like this is insane. Like this is a thing. You
Yeah.
know? But anyway, okay, that's what that reminded me of when you said like the
Oh, yeah.
color transition.
That was definitely
But,
what like inspired it. But
Micah, do you have the first color film?
First feature film with both color and sound was On with the Show,
Okay.
released in 1929 by Warner Brothers.
mm,
First with color, no sound, was A Trip to the Moon.
Oh,
hand painted
that was that had
frames.
color in it.
They hand painted them.
I guess that makes sense. Okay.
You're right. The moon is no.
Moon is yellow.
I don't know.
I don't
I'm
know.
thinking of a different one. I'm thinking of the French film.
I think that is what.
Is that what that is though? That has color in it.
I think so.
I'm picturing the moon
It's
with
black
no
and-
color,
I'm pretty-
with the thing in it.
Yeah.
Unless the thing is color. I don't know.
I don't remember. We did have to watch it for class one time,
Yep.
but I don't remember.
What has color in it?
It was initially released in both black and white and hand-colored versions.
Oh,
Okay, so
okay.
we've only
So
seen the
we've
black
probably
and white.
only seen the black and white. Yeah,
Okay, that
yeah,
makes
okay. That
sense.
makes me feel better. I was gonna say, I'm like, I feel like I have a pretty good memory for
Yeah.
that, and I'm cooked. Like, I got nothing. Okay. So you had to? Did you have to? Why couldn't you do that? What was the
So
struggle?
the main struggle was, so there was 3 actors in the colored universe, only like 1 in the black and white, and we were having trouble casting like 3 actors for the color universe, and it was like a week before, same story as Pernicious.
Yep.
A week before we had to shoot, and I was like, what if we just pivot to just telling the one timeline and try with like voiceover, try to make it make sense in a way. So that was our game plan going into it, and based off audience reactions, I don't think people really understood what I was trying to go for, or like what I was trying to imply.
Like, what? And not to ruin the film, I don't want to ruin it. So how can we get around it? Are you talking like the beginning of it, or?
Mainly the ending, because like people just thought it was weird and they don't get it.
I think it's one of those things where it's like you said, it sets you off on the adventure, but
Yeah.
you don't quite really understand the adventure yet. Like
Yeah.
what will entail on the adventure, and I think maybe that's probably why people were like, okay, I can see where they were going, but maybe that's them saying I wanted to see more, or
Yeah, no,
something like that.
That was like main critique from our first screening,
Okay.
was people wanted to see more, and we actually got in trouble from Beth because we took that criticism to heart, because I was like, okay, well, people clearly aren't satisfied with the ending and they want more, so I was like, well, we just
Give them more.
give them more.
Yeah.
That's what I said. And
Yeah.
plus, like, so I was like, I can write like 3 pages. We could shoot it in the day. We would shoot it in Studio One.
Yep.
Because it would be all in pitch blackness. We could play with lights, and it wouldn't be that hard. And we told Beth about this, and Beth was angry. She was pissed. Because
Well, let me guess. Her reasoning was like, if people want more, that's a good thing. Don't give it to them because it makes them think. Or what was her reasoning?
her reasoning was, because this isn't like, because you wouldn't do this on an actual set, because like what you're doing is rewriting, not reshooting, and like that was her main reason. And like she's an editor, she loves editing, and and obviously I think obviously like going out and shooting like an extra day, she wouldn't be happy with.
Well, that'd be time and money if you're on a real set. So I
yeah,
get
exactly.
that, yeah.
But we have the time. We're not taking the equipment away from anyone,
Yeah.
and it would only be a day. And it was like, I think normally it wouldn't be an issue, but we were down our bad side.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm even thinking, like, think of all the films that, like, they switched or changed something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, or, like, they had to go reshoot something because it messed up. But I guess her thing is, like, you didn't mess anything up. You just didn't think about this until it's too late.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but-
Oh, you just remind me of something. Yeah. Another thing, she was also mad because we, for the like test screenings, in her words, we submitted an incomplete film, and she was mad about that. And I was like, okay, first of all, calm myself down. It's not an incomplete film because it's all there. And I literally, in the email, I literally explained to her.
I hope Beth watches this and is like,
No, because no, I literally wrote down in the email. I was like, okay, this character starts here. He goes through this. It starts off on his mini journey here because of this phone call he has, and he's feeling this sort of way, which is why he kind of lashes out in the midpoint. But then he gets presented an opportunity to kind of pursue what he wants at the end, which is like, tagline of the movie, escape your reality or whatever.
Yep.
And I was like, I wrote all that, and I was just like, and she was like, oh my God, Albino, what you said to me was amazing. That is your movie, whatever. I was like, yeah, I know. I shot it and I wrote it like that. So like we came to a compromise. I was like, can I at least add voiceover lines to see if I can try to fill in the gaps for the audience or whatever.
So she was unhappy with the silence in it? Or what was she just...
She was just...
From her perspective.
She was just angry at... Well, honestly, I think she was angry at us because we did kind of break the rules during filming because...
Okay, and how did you break the rules?
Because we were shooting in the science building and on campus, Halsey Lab. And we were shooting there for 2 days, Friday and... Actually, Thursday, Friday, I believe. Okay. And we finished all the scenes there. And but we had one scene where... This got cut from the actual movie, but the main character exits the building and runs into a couple of people.
Okay.
And we just needed we showed up to film that, and it was like starting to rain, and we had the equipment. So I was like, okay, well the building's unlocked, so let's just put the gear in there.
Yep.
And just make sure it doesn't get any wet. However, we technically didn't have permission to do that, but we were filming outside. which I didn't think was that big of an issue, but
Oh.
on a actual scale it wasn't. But
So it's like you didn't have the right to put your stuff inside.
Yeah, and some CSOs came and saw. I was like, "What are you guys doing?" I was like, "Oh yeah, we're doing this." I was like, "Okay, well, this building's sending you clothes. You guys can't be in here. If you want, you can take your equipment. You can put it under like the awning covering the stairs, and yeah, we'll let you go on your merry way." I was like, "Okay, cool." Yeah. And I thought that was gonna be it, but apparently, the CSO
had to write
it up, and told Beth, and then Beth found out. She was angry at us.
Yeah, and she probably and like when you read those things, it's like these students were like inside, and that's how they write it up. But that's just because like how else would you say it?
Yeah, exactly.
But it's like you could take it as a I think all that's real world. You got to do that. You can't not do that. I get that. But it's also like we're not shooting inside. We're just keeping the stuff dry. Unless people were being rowdy and disrespectful, then it's like, I get it. You get kicked out, you know?
Exactly.
But it's like, that was the one thing that frustrated me with the school is like, dude, I'm paying to like do this stuff. Exactly. And like, what are we doing here? Like, Dude, also, this frustrated me too. Mm-hmm. So I was listening to a show or a podcast or whatever, and they were talking about like school and like how a lot of arts departments are like going away, and like a lot of the main ones are like science and whatever, and like science, like for Oshkosh would be science, nursing, and education, right? Those are the big three. And they were like it doesn't make sense. Like you don't like someone can't be. I wouldn't recommend this, but be a major for like poetry. Like if you do that, you pay the same as the person that's going for science. And this will be interesting because Micah is a science major. And they were like when we break down who gets paid the most, right? Arguably, it's more expensive for the science person to go to school and do all of that stuff. But in turn, they will also be making more money when they come out. Yeah. Compared to the poetry person who's literally just sitting in class writing on a notebook for the most part. It's like, but they pay the same tuition. But they don't come out with the money that the science person does. And so it's like, you don't want to knock... Like, and then the devil's advocate to this is like, well, then why would I be a science major if I'm going to have to pay for more schooling? Yeah. Like, why would I just do poetry and it only costs like 10, 15 grand? It's like I get that argument to it. But, Michael, what are your thoughts on something like that?
I do think that the choice of major definitely plays a role when looking at like future salaries or like average salaries post-graduation. Mm-hmm. Like, poetry would be something silly if that was something you wanted to make a fortune out of, right? Yeah. Because like, not that I read many poetry books, but a lot of like
that's
people
the point.
Who write
you don't read many poetry books.
That's true. but the people who write the poetry, a lot of times it's just like people who are good writers and have a separate career beyond that, and then they're like, wait, I can publish this and people will read it. Yeah. It's not like they went to school explicitly to only focus on that, because that's like one of those like, okay, maybe we grind out a random job that doesn't use my degree for 30 years and maybe we hit it big once with a poetry book. But I don't know, I think it's the like expected return. It's also the amount of work you want to do. Like when you like first go to school, it's like, all right, I'm invested in engineering, I'm gonna stick it out for 4 years, hopefully I make it. Then I'll end up with, I don't know, like a $90,000 salary, right? But it's also like you really have to enjoy what you're going to school for, even if you want to make the money.
Yeah. And so like, and that's why it's just an interesting, whatever you want to call it, like thought play, whatever, because to me it's like my schooling maybe doesn't cost what it would be to go for nursing. Yeah. But I'm paying the same as the nurse. And it's not like our tuition finances is like funding the nurse department. It's not that much. But it's like still at the point it's like, well, I don't think my degree would cost that much. But it's just that like melting pot of like, well, this is just the price of tuition and you can choose whatever major you want to. And it's just simple, easy. We don't have to worry about true finances because everything's just there, Exactly. I think where that gets tricky though is when you get a department that's dying, like the theater department that I was a part of. Yeah. You don't get as many students. Now, that would have to be a mathematical problem, whatever you would want to do, to be like, how many students would you have to have in your department to like cover expenses for what your department is asking of? And I doubt that our students were covering that because half that goes to energy or whatever maintenance of all the buildings on the property. It's like, did we cover our teacher's salary, our professor? Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, it's just a fun thought experiment. When I heard that, I was like, oh, it's kind of an interesting take on that. If you're a doctor, you make bank, but then again, it's like, well, then what's more important to you? Doing something that you love or just being financially set up for the rest of your life? Yeah. Maybe you don't love your job, but that means you get to afford things that to go do something. Yeah, exactly. But, yeah. That's tough, though, that they kicked you out of that building.
And it would have been fine if they didn't snitch.
So were you just not able to finish shooting, or did you already you got everything?
We got everything.
She was just already frustrated with you at that point.
She was just frustrated. Yeah. She was like, because you already made me angry, I'm not gonna allow this or whatever. And it was an awkward tiptoeing around her ever since then. Just try not to make her any more angry.
Hey, I do have to shout out Beth though. I think she might be the only professor that's ever like, I don't know how she found my show. Probably maybe someone was following her that posted something that I had on the show, and maybe that's how she found it or whatever. But I remember I was talking about something with editing, and I was like, Avid sucks. Like, I hate Avid. Like, he would just delete my projects. And then she like commented on the video, and like I had no idea that she was even watching or would have watched it. And she was like, well, if you would have just like saved it correctly, it would have been fine. And I was like, I know, but it's more fun to complain. Yeah. Okay, so you shoot the film, and I'm assuming the rest of the process was pretty straightforward.
After shooting, my editor, his name is Tyler, he just took over. Yeah. And he's not actually like an RTF major. He was an RTF minor. Okay. And he was a music industry major, actually.
Okay, does he play trombone? No, I don't know. There's only one Tyler I know from the music department. But.
I don't think he played an instrument. Okay. I don't know. I never really asked him about that. I got no idea then. But yeah, he pretty much took control out of everything. He knew how to edit previously, and he wanted to make music for movie as well. He never really got around to it because he was just so busy doing other stuff. But he also did the Foley. There was Foley in our
that's right. Yeah.
In our film as well. He was in charge of all that, and it was pretty much like a hands off for me at that point.
That's pretty sick. I'm personally definitely production, not too much of a fan of pre-production, but I'll do it. That's fine. Yeah. And then post-production, I'm just like, I'm done. Yeah. Like, I did my job. Which is why we have the podcast set up like the way we do it. It's minimal post-production.
No, that's valid.
Minimal pre-production. Yeah. Most of the clutching up is happening right in this moment between Micah, you, and I.
We appreciate that.
The sip at the same time goes hard. Okay, so did you submit the film for any film festivals or anything? Or are you going to?
We submitted to 4, I believe.
Oh, have you heard back from anything or no?
We heard back from 1 already.
Awesome.
MLC up in Green Bay.
Oh, okay.
We were one of 3. I'm not sure if we were one of 3 who submitted, but we were one of 3 who got accepted, nominated or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was mine, it was Bryce's, and it was Jenna's.
Okay, and I did see Jenna's got.
Yeah, she got for her film. She got the leading actress. Like
she kind of cooked for her film. She had leading actress, which she wasn't acting in. Yeah, and then for Bryce's, she got it for leading actress. So like, she cooked.
Yeah, she for real.
But again, all of those films were like done so well. They tell you this in theater. It's like you could be the best actor or whatever, but like if you don't stand in your light, if your spotlight, if you don't play to the audience the right way, you'll just look dumb, which is like tough when you don't have people that know a ton about filming or what's expected. It's like, and I've been on those sets where you're like, okay, I'm trying my hardest, but no matter what I do, I'm gonna look like a dumbass. Like no matter how this is filmed or looked like that stage. And so it's like no matter what, you're like, okay, it's done. But it's like to be on a set like any of those 5 films, it's like, all of that pre-production, all of the crew, producers, directors clutched up in an insane way to set the actors up, and then it's like, all right, actors, now it's your turn to do something for us to like do your job, and so it's cool to see that there was success from students to.
And I do kind of wish John Bye did get a nomination because he was the only character in the movie and he had to do a lot. Actually, I forget, I was in the movie.
Your role was pretty fire. I remember. The whole theater just bursted out laughing when you turned around. Your character was so good too. Like,
Oh yeah, that role made me realize I don't want to be an actor.
Well, you know what's funny is like you could tell in that role that it was like almost meant for you. Like if
Yeah.
you were gonna get casted for a character, that's the character like type you would have been casted at.
Exactly.
It was so good. It was so good. I had to leave. I don't know what I had going on, or what I had. Maybe I had work in the morning or something like that. But I had to dip after all the films because then you do questioning.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's gonna last an hour and a half, for 5 films. So I was like, I can't stay. But,
unfortunately, yeah.
yeah.
But
sorry. But I would say, what was the feedback from the audience, the live audience?
They laughed at a part I didn't expect them to laugh, which was I think it was my line where it was like, I didn't expect you to have jokes like that. I think it was the way I delivered it. It's just
no, exactly, 100%. You killed it.
It was like, okay, that is kind of funny. Okay.
But yeah, I kind of did cook. Pat on the back.
Because like the reason why I didn't think it was funny because when I was playing that character, I actually got into character, and that character is very sad and depressed because of the life he's living. And it was like, oh my god! I remember the first take. I was like, I got into character. We did the scene. We got out, and I was like, oh my god, I feel awful. Like I feel sad.
Yep.
It was like, and I have to do this for like 15, 20 more takes.
See, that's where the training for the acting is like, and then like that would be like a hardcore method acting. Like I gotta be the character to be the character.
Yeah.
I can't do that. My problem is like I'm a pretty upbeat, happy guy, and so like character like that's fine.
Yeah.
Like I'll just be myself because it works.
Yeah.
But when they're like, hey, I need you to be like really sad and depressed, it's like I can try, but like, as soon as we're cutting, I'm probably gonna end up smiling or something because it's just like that's my normal thing I do. You know?
Yeah, no.
So
I would not recommend method acting.
I've been on some sets too where actors get really into method acting, and it's like scary. Like they're like fighting true demons and stuff, and I'm like, dude, why are you doing? They're like, it's the only way I can get in the character. I'm like, no, it's not. Like you are like hurting yourself.
Yeah,
You're cutting your years short of your life.
No, for real. And and I guess going back to Pernicious, my main actor, Marcus, I don't think he was a method actor, but he definitely had to get into character before we got into a scene, and honestly, that just paved the way. Because I do have a question for you regarding like acting for like theater and acting for in front of a camera, because I feel it's like one of my characters in Pernicious was played by a theater actress, and the way she delivered it felt like a theater performance.
100%.
But not like how you should be performing in front of a camera.
Was it too much?
Yeah, it was too much.
Yep.
Too extra. I was like, I just telling her like, okay, let's take it down a little bit. Let's do another one. And then she just kept going back to her same role. So I was like, how would you like as a theater actor? And I guess
so. I've gotten the same feedback.
Yeah.
It's So the reason why actors do this is you think of the spaces. So let's start on the stage. I'm playing a show, audience of 750 people, right? Well, that audience section goes all the way to the back.
Yeah.
So first, I have to be loud because I have to get my voice all the way up there.
Yeah.
Second of all, I have to overemphasize every single facial reaction. And it's like up close, you'd be like, "That's weird. That's not what a normal person is." But someone who's looking so far away is gonna be like, "Oh, okay, I can kind of see what they're."
Yeah.
And so what happens is. That's the only way you've acted. For me, that was the only way I acted for the longest time. So when you go to film or TV, you're like, okay, I'm ready to bring all this energy, and everyone's like way down, dude. Like, whoa. Like, that is scary, and the audience is going to be like concerned for you, and you will look like a serial killer no matter what character you play, right?
Yeah.
And so you have to learn how to change your smile to being like this, to being like this, to then being like the smirk or whatever that is to play off of the section. And like my funny story, freshman year, I think it was freshman year or sophomore year, don't remember. I auditioned for the news station to be an anchor, and the only feedback I got, he was like, dude, you killed it. You were awesome. He's like, but when we do this live, like, you just gotta be way quieter. Like, you were screaming. And I'm like, sorry. I'm an actor. Like, I was reading the prompter, and I just got excited, and I just did what I normally do. And he's like, yeah, no, that's cool. He's just like, you just gotta be quieter. So that was the first time someone told me from like a screen perspective of like, hey, back it down, buddy. You're doing too much.
Oh, yeah.
But that's one thing I need to learn and break down more is like, how do I get myself into a filming character scene when we're shooting? Because I know how to do the stage pretty good. I definitely need help probably still there. But it's like, how do you break yourself down? Like, that's where I struggle the most.
Yeah.
Like, the most recent, like, big film I did, it was like, looking at myself, I was like, there was like almost two extremes. It was like I was trying really hard to be in a film, and I was like not enough, and then I was trying too hard, and it's like, oh, that's cheesy. And then they also did stuff in the edit that made me look dumb. But like,
which are you talking about? I Remember the Night or
yeah.
Okay, okay.
It was just like one of those things where it's like that was definitely like a stage act right there, and then what they did to it made it look way worse, and I was like, oh, I got cooked. They burned me. No, that was a fun experience though. Yeah.
I think I found the best way to like kind of say you're doing too much without saying is like, come over to the monitor, tell me what you think.
Oh,
and then,
yeah.
And then they watch us like, does that feel like you're watching a short film? And then they usually like,
that's crazy.
I know.
At first I was with you, but then you just roasted the shit out of them.
No,
they probably would have just been like, hey, like, I see what you're doing. I really like it. However, like, are you able to bring down that emotion just a little, that expression a little bit, you know?
I tried that, but I found out
I just need to roast the shit out of them.
I feel like I found out being too nice isn't what you need a lot of the time.
Yeah, you need a backbone.
But like,
just get it right.
So I was like, they do that, and then like, honest, if I say it in a joking way, they'd be like, no, it doesn't really feel like it, but then they wouldn't really know why. But like when I say like in a tone, I was like, does it feel like a short film? They'll be like, oh, he's serious. Okay. let me actually
what if
analyze.
they say, yeah? What's your response to that?
I don't think so.
I think we need to get your glasses lens fixed. That's so funny.
But if worse comes to worse, I just do like the thing from Friends where it's like, just bring it down.
Are you a big Friends guy?
Yeah.
Dude,
it's fine.
I've watched it all because I feel like it's a rite of passage. Even though people will be like, I've never watched that. Never watched a single episode. It's like, okay, you can't hate it that much.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not bad.
You don't have to like it. But at hotels, it bothers me. It's the only thing that ever plays on TV.
Oh, really?
And all my siblings love to watch Friends. And so, like, it's almost like that thing now where it's like, as soon as we get to the hotel room, I try to like get the remote and turn it to a channel that's like got something other than Friends on that's like good. So the fallback recently was The Office has been clutching up for me.
Oh yeah.
And then I've just gotten into the like this was a couple months ago, but I just got really into The Office, and so I just started. I never rewatch anything because I'm like, there's so much more new content I want to see.
Yeah.
But just some things like some shows or movies that I can rewatch.
Yeah.
That one got me recently. I just started rewatching. I'm like, oh, this is so good. I'm like, if I was an actor, I'd want to do something like this. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
You know? But all right, do you have any other future productions in line or any creative ideas?
I don't believe I'm doing anything that I'm making, but I am helping on a ton of people's stuff. So, for example, there's going to be another narrative show coming to Tiny TV. It's going to, I think you might know these people. It's being created by James Tischler, which he's thinking about coming on the podcast.
Yep.
And Emma Veckhart.
Okay. No, that one doesn't ring a bell. Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. She actually helped on Bryce. She was like her DP.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're working on that. I don't even know what the plot is, honestly, but I'm DPing it.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, we gotta figure that out then.
Yeah,
eventually.
It's like I don't know. It's like I remember. It's like a couple of characters, like college students, come across like a murder scene, or like a crime scene, and they start messing around, and then the cops think that they caused the crime, so they start running away, and like I think that's the whole story. So I'm gonna be helping on that, and another RTF for Mitch Leahy. Yep. He was the DP for Jenna's. He's directing a film. You know that grant that Ben Leeson got to make River Trail Odyssey? He got that grant.
Oh, let's
go.
So
he's going to be making his short film. And from what I heard, I haven't read the script because as an editor, I don't really want to read what I'm editing. I kind of want to find the story in the edit.
Yep.
But from what I heard, it's amazing. It's like really, really good because like he wrote it for screenwriting, advanced screenwriting, and no one had any notes for it apparently. And it's about like a grandpa and a kid going on errands around town, and you slowly piece together that these guys are in the mafia, and they're trying to dispose of a body.
But you don't know about that.
You don't know about it until the end. Yeah.
Wow.
Which was like, that's a great premise, and it's gonna be about 8 minutes, and I'll be working on that as well.
That's sick.
And besides the RTF classes, I don't believe I'll be helping. I mean,
what are you taking right now?
That's a great question. I'm taking advanced post production.
Okay.
So I'm running it back with Beth. Hopefully, I don't make her this time.
Yeah, she's gonna watch this and be like, "You're cooked." What is that? Scale grading? No. Straight hardcore.
If I don't like it, you're
straight hardcore. 4, 3, 2, 1. A B C D.
I'm just saying, I love you, Beth, but just I don't think we were
in line in that moment.
In that class.
In the moment.
But
in the moment. Yeah.
They're part of that. we vibed. We're pretty much best buddies.
I can't wait to see her response on that.
Yeah, exactly. So you got that. I'm doing. I'm learning how to use the Adobe Suite.
Love that.
So we got that. I'm taking a journalism class so I can finish on my certificate.
Okay.
And I think it's an online class I'm taking, but I think I'm just taking only 2 RTF classes.
So are you doing all of school in like 3.5, or is it 4?
I guess it would be the full 4, I think, at this point. Because I started in 2021, I believe. So, and it's... Actually, no.
In the fall or spring?
In the fall. So, is that 5, actually? I don't know. 4.5? One of there?
I did 4.5.
I think I might be doing 4.5.
And that's why I was curious, because... Wait, I'm so confused. No, fall. You're going back to fall.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot. It's like a big role. I'm gonna do I'm doing a film. What am I doing? I'm pitching a movie for Film Society.
Okay.
And I'm gonna be on the e-board of it. I'm gonna be the treasurer.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah, I know.
Let's go. Are you excited about that?
I think so. I haven't heard anything.
Hey, no embezzling.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Allegedly, just in case funds do go missing.
Yeah, allegedly. Oh, and I forgot this again. I'm DPing for Cal's. He's making a movie as well. I'm DPing
really?
for that as well. Yeah.
Is that part of school or outside of school?
He's gonna try to do it for Film Society.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
But
that's sick.
say, oh yeah, I'm gonna be busy. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna be loaded down.
Yeah. So we're gonna do all that and hopefully able to get every one of them done and they're all perfect. Nothing goes wrong with them.
Sweet.
Said
awesome.
no other film major
Okay,
ever.
I'm excited. All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on this show, Albino.
Mm-hmm.
Last thing.
Mm-hmm.
We did this with Ben, and the guy went on to give us a whole paragraph and a half.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to keep you to what it should be.
Okay.
If you could give someone younger than you one piece of advice for filming. It could be like the actual filming, writing, editing, whatever you want. One piece of advice. What would that advice be?
I know what I want. Okay, so it seems very trivial, but I feel like people don't realize it. Make something that you would want to see. So, like, let's say you write something, you read it, you think it's good, but do you want to see that being made? And if you do, perfect. You film it, all that stuff. You go to the editing room, and now you're putting it together. Is this if you saw this, let's say on the big screen or on the small screen, and you see something that irks you, do you want to fix that, or do you want to leave it as is? Is that something you want to see when it come across your eyes? Or
are you being lazy?
Yeah, no, exactly. And I feel like so many people don't realize that because let's use the example of like let's say 2 years ago for 440. There were so many mistakes that people made. So many boring shots. I would say they just put the camera there, hit record, and that's it. And I was like, okay, you're telling me when you were filming this, editing this, and writing this, is this what you imagined?
I guess for them it would be like, is it for a grade or is it for the actual
exactly
art?
Film is something you can't just do for a grade. You have to be passionate about, and when you're passionate about it, you're going to care about how it looks, and you're going to always be your worst critic, but that means you're doing something right. So I guess that would be my advice.
Okay. Thank you, Albino, for coming on the show.
Of course, thanks for having me.
All right, everyone. We've come to an end. So if you made it this far into the episode, consider dropping a like, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff, and we'll see you next week.
Peace.